good morning to you all, my dear students. So here I am taking up one more topic of writing skills, that is letter writing. And I must put it into your notice that in your exam you would be getting formal letters only. And today we will be focusing on formal letters for examination point of view, right? So here we will talk about types of formal letters. So there are 4 types of formal letters basically which would be coming in your exam. So that is, first one is business or official letters, and then second one is letter to the editor, and the third one is letter of job application, right? And the fourth one is letter to the principal of school or college or authorities, right? So these would be the main 4 categories. And then before starting up with the things, I need to give some points so that you keep those points in your mind and draft a beautiful letter, right? So here these are the points, kindly focus on these. First of all, you have read the question carefully to understand it properly. First of all, make it very clear in your mind that what is asked in the question. Sometimes you don't address the question properly and you start writing in a hurry, and then later you realize that you have not addressed the question correctly, and then you need to rewrite it. So please don't do that. Second point is write down the key points for establishing good content. First, note down the main points on one side or either on the rough sheet. Then only inculcate in your full draft. Otherwise, you would not be getting good content for your letter writing, right? So this is the basic step which you should follow. And make sure that the body of the letter is in synchronization with the main theme. Those points, whatever you are adding to your letter, those should be related to the theme, related to the question asked, right? And then third is, your letter must be coherent and not begin or end abruptly. Basically your letter should be logical enough, as it is a formal one, so you should be very careful at this point of coherence, right? And then it should not begin as in at start you spill on everything. First of all, you need to start up with your introduction and all that. So don't start it abruptly and don't end it abruptly, right? Before ending, you should give some thanks clauses and all that, right? So this was the point there. So now here we have another points too, that is avoid using long sentences. Don't use long sentences, make shorter ones. That is, don't make compound sentences and then complex ones. Then avoid writing too much for explaining a single point, right? Write briefly. Keep your letter brief and to the point. And then next, adhere to the word limit, which is 120 to 150 words, right? If you will be just moving beyond that limit, then even your marks would be deducted. Be polite and formal all the time. All the letters would be related to formal category, so you need to be formal and be polite always. And next is strictly avoid short forms. Short forms are not at all to be used in formal letters, or any slang should not be used, and use only refined language, right? So here were the points to be kept in mind. Now steps to write a letter. What are the steps to write a letter? First of all, you write down sender's address, you know that, and then next you write date and receiver's address, sender's address, then date, then receiver's address, and then subject, and then salutation, and then body of the letter, and then in the body of letter there should be 3 paragraphs. first should be related to the introduction, and then second should be related to the introduction, that who are you basically and about what you are going to talk about. And then second should be informative, like for this reason, what all is the causes and effect of that, so what problem you are facing, so that would be there in the informative paragraph. And then the third one would be your concluding paragraph. Foreign, you can say that if you follow this, then we'll be benefited by this and that, whatever you can conclude in your paragraph, as for example I was just telling. So then you would be taking the third paragraph as concluding one. Then later on, after that, what you would be doing, you would be writing complementary clause. That is, it is the name, you would be saying yours faithfully. That is, you would be closing with a complementary word, that is yours faithfully and whatever it is, sincerely yours or whatever you are choosing, and then writing down the name. Mind it, if the name is given in the statement, then you need to follow that name only, and if it is not given, then you can either write your name or you may write any other name, right? So it's your choice. So that is sender, right? So with this we got to know that how to write down the letter. So now we'll see the format of letter to the editor. First of all, we are taking a letter to the editor, which is going to come in your May exams, right? So kindly notice all the things carefully. So here we would be talking about this letter. So I have taken one sample letter for that. Write a letter to the editor, the Hindustan Times, New Delhi, about water shortage in your locality. You are Rohan Pandit. So now here you have been given a name, you are Rohan Pandit. So kindly stick to this name only. Don't write down your name or any other name. And then here you need to talk about water shortage. So draft in your mind or on a rough sheet that what you need to write down in your first paragraph. First of all, introduction of the problem, shortage of water, and then later on, what are the effects of that, what problems you are facing, causes and effects you can say, right? And then in the third paragraph, in the concluding paragraph, you may write down that steps, which steps can be taken to improve that issue, right? So, and then you would be, but be polite in that paragraph also. You can even say it with the help of paying thanks to the person concerned, right? And then with the complimentary clause, you would be ending that letter along with the name. So let's see how we do it. So here, sender's address, right? And then just assumed, as it was not given in this statement. So you may write any. So here, date, after leaving gap, you need to write down the date. And then after leaving the gap, you need to write down the receiver's address. And then what else? Next we have, you need to write down the subject according to the step, subject. So what is the subject in this case? Water scarcity in so and so colony, whatever you want to write down, that is the subject. Then again, salutation. So salutation, sir or ma'am, right? So then you will be adding on that also. So next we have the body of the letter. So in this body of letter, you may see that we have taken different paragraphs, right? So here let's read out. Through the columns of your esteemed newspaper, I want to draw the attention of the authorities of Ghaziabad about water scarcity in our locality. So here this is the introduction. Just talked about the subject, right? And then the water in Bahadur colony is supplied for only 10 minutes in the morning and the same time in the evening. For the rest of the day, the taps remain dry. Even the quality of water supplied is very unhygienic. Purchasing water on daily basis is not easy for us. And then next is recent, it was informative paragraph, isn't it? It's been told that what is happening. Recently there has been cases of waterborne diseases such as typhoid and jaundice in the colony. It is feared that they may break out in an epidemic form if the quality of water supplied is not improved. So here we have taken up that what is the effect of that, right? And then next one is, it is suggested that the municipal water corporation should provide us connections. Here suggestions are taken up from the main water line, which has been laid hardly 200 meters away from this colony. So this is the suggestion. So here you are concluding with the suggestion. So then you are taking up the complimentary clause, and then again with the name of sender you end up your letter. So here by mistake there are some mistakes in the typing, so kindly consider them. Doubling of the words are there, right? So I am sending you a statement of a letter. So please try to draft that letter and get it checked by me. Thank you.